We have sent each other well wishes and other nice things, but it's not something we do all the time. Many people have made guesses over the years about Jennifer Aniston, who is known as the Queen of Humor in Hollywood, and her split from Brad Pitt, a 60-year-old man who is incredibly charming and boyish. Since their divorce 19 years ago, rumors have been going around that they cheated on each other and put their jobs ahead of love. I think. There are most likely a lot of reasons. I just thought I wasn't getting enough attention. However, Jennifer Aniston said that it's not cheating and neither person is purposely not being committed. Then what really caused them to split up? Could they have dealt with things better than splitting up? Come with us as we talk about Jennifer Aniston's confession of the truth about their split, Jermaine Dupri and Brad Pitt. A history of their friendship. One thing that always stands out in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood life is stars falling in love and making fans hungry for more. Hearing about Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston's love story makes hearts melt. They didn't even know each other as friends when they started dating, which was very strange. In 1994, they met on the side through their managers, who were friends at the time. At the time, they didn't see each other as romantically interested because they were just friends. But fate tangled the two of them in a way that neither of them had planned, and Cupid aimed its arrows. Most of the time, they didn't have a choice. At that time, Brad Pitt was the guy everyone wanted to date. His broad shoulders, eloquence, eyes as blue as the ocean, and great cheekbones, along with his amazing acting skills and delivery, made him very appealing. It wasn't a surprise that he was seeing Gwyneth Paltrow, one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood at the time. Jennifer, on the other hand, wasn't weak either. She was having a great time in Hollywood, especially with her friend's part. Jen and Brad broke up with both of their partners just 4 years after they met. Since sparks were already flying, this move made them more likely to want to go on a date. It's a little strange that their managers set up their first date, since they needed their dates to be set up like a marketing deal. All reports agreed, though, that their first date was electric, and that they felt an instant connection with each other. In 1999, they were seen in public at the red carpet event for the 51st Primetime Emmy Awards. Of course, the paparazzi asked them about the reports that they were dating that had been going around. They told everyone right away that it was true, which sent shockwaves through the packed halls of Hollywood. People were interested in their relationship because it was more than just two beautiful people in love. It's the dream come true for Hollywood fans. Seeing two of the hottest characters in a Hollywood franchise getting close to each other, people will never forget their first public appearance as a couple. Their clothes shone just as brightly as their relationship status. Jennifer wore a dress with a lot of sequins that matched Brad's sleek sunglasses and slim suit. In 2004, Jennifer talked about their first date. She remembered how sweet Brad Pitt was and how he made her feel, which was a sign of how well their relationship was off to a great start. On July 29, 2000, they got married. What did they have about their partnership that made them so famous in Hollywood? Old boyfriends of Jennifer Aniston before she met Brad Pitt. Jennifer's love life did not begin with Brad Pitt, as most people would have thought. She had been with other people in public before that. Her first famous relationship in the entertainment business was with co-star Charlie Schlatter, who she worked with on NBC's popular show Ferris Bueller, which was based on the classic movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. They've been together since 1990. It's not crazy to think that coworkers can fall in love, but their relationship seemed a little strange since she played a younger sister in the movie they were in together. Fans have been curious about how things worked between them on set. They were only together for a short time, so there wasn't much time to think about how everything turned out. Even though they were only together for a short time, it was the start of many personal and business relationships she would have in Hollywood. She met fellow actor Daniel McDonald in 1990, just as she was becoming famous all over the world. Before she met Brad Pitt, this was possibly the longest relationship she had been in. They were together for 5 years. Their love story looked like it was going so well. So their split up seemed very odd because no one could figure out why. In a 2015 interview with the New York Times, she was asked about the men she liked. She talked very highly of him and called him the love of her life repeatedly. McDonald sadly passed away in 2007. A lot of people may have thought about how to bring an old flame back to life, but the spark was dead for good. Some people say that you don't appreciate what you have until you lose it. The same thing happened to Jennifer Aniston. She told him that she messed up their relationship because she took it for granted. After we broke up, he went to New York and began doing really well there. She said that we broke up right before we became friends. She then said, "He's just great, a dear friend." When she looked back, she thought she could have handled things better with him and that losing him wasn't a good idea. She blamed her youth for being too weak. I loved him first. We were together for 5 years. He should have been the one, but I was 25 years old and not smart to make things right. He must have sent me Justin Theroux. In her early 20s, she dated the lead singer of the band Counting Crows. It was 1995, right around the time that Friends became popular and brought her to the public's attention. They met at the Viper Room, a popular nightclub that Johnny Depp and Seljenko both own. They began with Duritz's friends getting into some friendly trouble. While he talked about his relationship with Jennifer on Entertainment Tonight, he told the story of how they met and started dating. A lot of my friends told me lies when they said she liked me. Those same friends lied to her and said I liked her. Jennifer was just starting to get noticed in the entertainment business, and her name and image were trying to make her seem like a star, even though she had only recently been on Friends premiere when they met. He's all of these things rolled into one perfect guy, she said with joy. Donovan looked a lot like Hollywood's hot guy at the time. In fact, he had been dating Sandra Bullock for 4 years. When asked about his relationship with Jennifer Aniston, he said he was shocked when he learned who she was, mostly because he had never seen her friends before they met. He didn't want to date another actress right away because he had just split up with Sandra Bullock, who was a great actress. He had been with Sandra and knew what it was like to be with an A-list star. They talked about their second date in an interview with People magazine. On our second date, there were recording cameras everywhere, and I told them I was leaving. He found love, but they broke up for a while. The heart wants what it wants, and their hearts wanted each other. Somehow, they got back together and chose to stay together. They exchanged Irish engagement rings and said they were interested in getting married. Things took a bad turn for them very quickly. In fact, for Valentine's Day in 1996, he gave her a dog and named it Elio. But in 1998, the lovely couple broke up. Fans have been wondering about the details of her breakup with Tate for no reason. Now she has a chance to talk about what really caused them to break up. But she stayed true to herself and never hung out her dirty drawers. She told him nice things about him but kept her secrets to herself. For some reason, though, the stories about why they broke up got really crazy and almost out of hand in 1999, and she had had enough. In an interview with Rolling Stone that same year, she denied the reports that were going around at the time, especially the one that Tate Donovan was jealous of her acting career. That wasn't the real reason we broke up. She said, but they made it up because we didn't give them anything. The reason Tate and I broke up wasn't over egos, wanting kids, not wanting to get married, or any of those other things. It wasn't true at all, she said. But neither she nor Donovan were ready to say what really caused them to break up. Donovan's hardest time was when he was asked to play Jennifer Aniston's love interest on the set of Friends. Now step back and picture this for a second. A couple who just broke up is taking on jobs that put them in direct contact with each other all the time. Can you picture how tense that room must have been? In an interview with Us Weekly, Donovan was asked about the situation. He talked about how it felt to work with an ex-girlfriend and how hard it was for him and Jennifer. Donovan was just glad to be on the team because he was a cool, calm young man. The only bad thing was that Jennifer and he were breaking up at the time. But he was really upset about how the scene was meant to go. It was hard to act like that, make it look like we're just getting to know each other and falling in love or something when really we're breaking up. That was really tough. There were only 6 shows. We were like, hey, can't we keep doing this because we were breaking up? Duvin remembered, because this is really painful and hard. He also said that people were surprised when they learned that they had been together for 2 years and not just started dating when they met on Friends. And making it 3 times longer before Friends. The last real relationship she had was with Donovan. After that, she dated Brad Pitt. So far, it looks like none of her relationships have been able to last. Can she change her luck by going out with Brad Pitt? We'll find out soon enough. Jermaine Dupri and Brad Pitt, the wedding and more. We're talking about wealth, fame, and luxury. There were many bright stars in Hollywood, but Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston stood out. The way they were together became one of the most famous in Hollywood. They were like smoke and fire, always following each other around. The lovebirds sent shockwaves through the entertainment business on November 29th, 1999. They went to a Sting concert together and went right up on stage to show off Jennifer's new engagement ring, which Brad had bought for her. The gems in this ring are thought to have been worth $500,000 at the time, which is about $944,780 today. Jennifer is very wealthy, but it meant the world to her that her husband went out of his way to make sure that they announced their engagement in the way that they did. Liza Damiani, an Italian artist who is known all over the world, made the ring. The ring was made from diamond and platinum, which are 2 of the most valuable gems in the world. It shows how much Brad wanted the woman he loved to have only the best things in life. By the year 2000, the wedding story was getting around very quickly and far. Reports in the media said it might be a wedding in the country. The wedding did have a lot of guests, but not all of them could make it. It looks like the media were right about one thing after all. The wedding really was the most important event in history. Only 200 people were invited to Malibu to see this beautiful event happen. The Pacific Ocean could be seen from Malibu, where they were. Brad's bad boy image on screen seems to have stopped there, but in real life he was a man who could have the best ringmaker design his wife's ring and also imagine their beautiful marriage taking place in a zen-like garden. Weddings mags say that the wedding costs around $1 million. Because he bought a lot of flowers, like wisteria and tulips, they had to use a total of 50,000 flowers to decorate. They also ordered some floating lights to make the room look better and give it a more zen feel. To keep the cameras from taking pictures, all the decorations were hidden under white canopies, and everyone who came had to sign a document saying they would not talk about the event. As expected, a lot of big names in Hollywood were at the wedding. The wedding is said to have had famous people in it, like Salma Hayek, Courtney Cox, and Cameron Diaz. It was made by a real church choir with 40 singers and 4 music bands. There are reports that they sang a song from Blur as the wedding march in 1999, and Brad is said to have cried like a child when this music was played. There are times when happy days make you cry. Jennifer and Brad have never missed a fashion event. They knew exactly what they wanted and picked the right stylist to make them look their best on this important day. Jennifer looked beautiful that day. For her big day, she wore a white satin and silk dress that was made by stylist Lawrence Steele. Another thing about the dress was that it had small pearls on the bodice. The star picked out Manolo Blahnik shoes to wear. Along with her dress, the bride wore a crown with Swarovski crystals on it. The veil went all the way around the tiara. It looked like something from a Disney movie. Brad was wearing a suit with 4 buttons that was designed by Hedy Slimane, a stylist who now works at Celine, a French high-end brand. Aside from that, there were rumors going around that there were big fireworks at the end of the ceremony that went for about 13 minutes. Both couples smiled and shone like the headlights of a car in a dark alley as they walked to the Emmy Awards after their long wedding ceremonies. What can you expect when you see 2 newlyweds from Hollywood? They were the center of attention at the service. They quickly became the talk of Hollywood, the perfect couple that every other couple wanted to be. Lucky for them, love and fate brought them together in marriage. But it looked like something else was going to add to the fun. They went to work together on Jennifer's hit show Friends set. In 2001, Brad was going to be a guest star. Brad had to play a character who hated Jennifer's character and everything she stood for in the episode, called the one with the rumor Donovan had a hard time getting over the idea that they were breaking up and then having to work together to play a part where they are falling in love. Think about a completely different situation. She brings her husband to work with her as someone who hates her. Nothing in the world will make them pros if pulling this off doesn't. In the movie, they barked at each other, but when they weren't acting, they had great chemistry. All of Hollywood's fans were eager to hang out with them. They were the ones everyone wanted to be. It became the norm for young couples in Hollywood to look like them, and everyone else had to do the same. Back in 2003, she was asked if Brad was the love of her life. Her answer was the most Jennifer Aniston thing ever. Is he my true love? I believe that you always wonder, are you my love? I don't know what to say. Someone who says he loves me has never been with me. He's a very important love in my life. There's never been a reason to do this for any reason. Especially when questions about the heart are asked. But Jennifer usually tries to keep her private life, or at least the details of it, out of the news. How long will their love last? A couple of power. They are both very passionate about making movies, which is one thing they definitely agree on. One of the most memorable times they were together was at the Golden Globe Awards in 2002, where she got her first nod. They walked the red carpet together wearing clothes that matched. They looked beautiful in their similar brown outfits as they walked the carpet. Their chemistry was strong enough to make everyone fall in love. Because both couples were excited about the same things, they started Plan B Entertainment with director Brad Gray in 2002. In 2004, she was asked about starting the film company in an interview with Guardian News. We started this small business in secret and didn't say much about it because we didn't want to be seen as players with deals that don't require them to do anything. We had something to do first. Then, after about a year, Brad Gray called us. After that, it turned into a huge business machine in the Warner America world. Jennifer Aniston says that as of 2004, they were working on about 17 movies. One of their first big hits as a production company was Troy, in which Brad Pitt played Achilles, the mighty warrior who was thought to be unbeatable but was actually too big for his own shoes and fell because of it. They also made Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in 2005, which starred Johnny Depp. The dream had come true thanks to sheer willpower, imagination, and self-belief. They were no longer just about players, they were also about making movies. In the movie business and other parts of the entertainment business, many other couples looked up to them and their success as a pair. They had been married for 4 years at the time of the conversation, and she also said that she would be ending the Friends franchise at some point. She was so excited that she told The Guardian how ready she was to have a child. "I couldn't wait to enjoy the joys of being a mom. It's time. I believe you can handle a baby. I believe you can work while you're pregnant. I believe you can do everything, so I'm just really looking forward to taking it easy," she said. Her joy about possibly becoming a mom put too much stress on her heart. She tried to hide it but failed, and she even began to make plans to have a baby. It seemed like it was all planned out, and now we're just waiting for the last few pieces to move. Friends will be done with me by the end of January. At the end of February, he will finish Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Angelina Jolie. After that, he starts Ocean's 12, which means I can travel with him while he's filming, which she happily planned. But it looked like fate had something very, very different in mind. What did she do when she heard that noise? Putting down the seeds of trouble. A wedding in Hollywood doesn't last long. Jen and Brad were always going to be together, so everyone knew they would. But the theme of the Hollywood couple comes up again, this time in the heart of Hollywood's most famous pair. Jen was so happy to tell you that the job for Mr. and Mrs. Smith was almost done. It took too long to end. Everyone who saw the movie thought Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie looked great together. They work hard to get along so well when they're not on TV. They looked like they had worked together for a long time. Jolie even said that in a speech. "We did these crazy things because of the movie." I feel like all of a sudden, our friendship and relationship changed in a weird way. After a few months, I thought, "God, I can't wait to get to work," she said. Every time they had to do something together, like shoot a scene, argue about a scene, practice their guns, go to dance class, or do tricks, they had a great time and worked well together. She also said, "We just became kind of a pair." It was true, she said, that like everyone else, she had an effect on Hollywood's main man at the time. But working close to each other, being in each other's space all the time, holding hands and dancing sexily while staring into each other's minds caused a monster inside them that only fed on their intense love and desire for each other. But the Tomb Raider actress knew it would be wrong to steal Jennifer's man, so she stayed away from Brad while they were making the movies and said they never dated while Jennifer was married to Brad. Not for long, though. They couldn't avoid the huge growing elephant in the room that looked like a heart. According to Angelina Jolie, she was happy with being a single mom, because that was where she was in life at the time. She also thought that he was married to someone he loved and admired. Brad Pitt may have left home as a husband, but his heart was now split in two and shared between two people. He married her 3 years ago and gave her a solitaire-shaped ring worth $500,000. Or he worked with a woman he met on the set for many months, holding hands, dancing, and kissing as the scene called for it. Brad may have died on the sets of Mr. and Mrs. Smith before he left to make a movie with only one woman in his heart. So, what does this fresh love mean for his marriage to Jennifer Aniston? The breakup, the end of Hollywood's golden girl. At some point, everyone knew this was going to happen. After filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith was over, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt chose to stay friends, even though they both knew that they would have more if they could only deal with one person, Jennifer, Brad Pitt's legally married wife. Following a few months of not being together, Brad and Jennifer chose to end their marriage and split up. It would be lying to say that no one saw this coming, especially after seeing Mr. and Mrs. Smith and listening to some of Jennifer's comments. January 24th, 2005 was the last day of the split. Photos of the two of them enjoying New Year's Eve together while they were in Angola led to the news. They seemed to want to present a united front no matter what choice they made, and that's what they did. There will be no more weddings for 5 years and no more dating for 7 years. But after they got divorced, they made a statement saying that they were still friends and trusted each other. We'd like to let you know that after 7 years together, we've chosen to end our relationship. For people who are interested, we'd like to say that our breakup is not due to any of the rumors that have been going around in the tabloids. In their joint statement, the couples gave their reasons. Some people said bad things about both of them. Some people thought Brad was hotter and Jennifer was selfish for putting her job ahead of her love life. People called him a fake and a cheat, because he said he wasn't going to see Angelina Jolie before they broke up. Some of his fans say they don't care about him or his work anymore. A long time ago, he broke up with her. When she was 55, she finally told everyone why. Jen makes things clear. There is a lot of money in the entertainment business because of how silly the media can be. They know too much and not enough. There have been news stories that hurt famous people, because that's what people wanted at the time. True stories about their breakup have said that they broke up because they were cheating on each other or loved their jobs. But Jen tells everyone more than 15 years after they broke up. They both moved on with their lives and fell in and out of love again. They looked great together, but it was hard to dance. Jen wasn't the only one who broke up in 2018. In the same way, Jen and Justin Theroux broke up. The two of them did the same thing. Until 2021, Jolie is the only one who will watch their kids. For a while, it looked like Brad and Jennifer would never get back together. They're likely to get back together with an old friend, according to the news. She chose to talk about it in an interview with Allure magazine this time. She was sick of hearing that Brad slept with other women while they were together. She said before her long, hard trip, it wasn't cheating that caused the breakup, it was her inability to have a child. People said she was cheating. The news has been wrong about why they broke up in 2005. It said they kept their word and stayed friends, even though things were rough between them after they broke up. Breakups don't always mean the end of a friendship. What did you think of the video? Kindly follow, like, and share. If you click on it, you can watch one of our other fun movies,